Have you ever wondered why there's such an emphasis on muscle growth and building muscle? Um, Aside from the fact that there is a little bit more metabolic activity with muscle, it takes more energy to maintain muscle. So what that technically means is it increases the amount of energy your body needs to maintain that muscle and to keep it operational. So there is a sort of an increased metabolic effect. For some people it's really big, for some people it's not as big, but I think what really is the value of trying to keep more muscle in your body is that with age we tend to not be able to keep as much. We tend to lose a little bit more, and it just sort of decreases generation or decade by decade. As you get older, you lose a little more and more and have a harder time putting it back on. Now, what this does mean is that there's an opportunity to build up as much as you can, both bone and muscle, and they call that bone in the bank or muscle in the bank, up until the age of 30. That's sort of the peak when you can build and maintain both. Then as you get older, it's harder and harder to maintain. So if you start off as a higher level muscle and bone at 30, it takes you a lot longer in age before you drop to that level where it's hard for you to take care of yourself, walk around, and all that sort of thing. So not only is there sort of an aesthetic goal, a benefit to it right now, there's also a longevity, a quality of life aspect to it when you get a little bit older. So you build a little bit more now, maintain that as much as you can throughout your life. So even if it drops, it never drops below that threshold that keeps you from being able to handle your own self, walking, day-to-day activities, that sort of thing. This is also very similar, let's say if you ever had to have a surgery or something like that, why they ask you to build up a little bit more muscle, get ready physically for that surgery, because as soon as you have that surgery and you're just bed rest for a while, that bone and that muscle is going to start to go down because you're not using it. And if you start from a higher level, you're less likely to get below the level that you first started with. Meaning you build up to get ready for surgery, muscle and bone. That way, again, when you're back on the other side, you're not as far gone. And this is very similar to motion and movement in joints. Like the more you use it, the more you're able to keep it. The more you have to begin with, the less of an effect it might have if you have to take a few days off, if you have a sort of an injury, or if there's something that gets in the way of you being able to maintain it for quite some time. So that being said, the more you can build in the bank right now, the better off you're going to be later on.